The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing.
Hello farmers, welcome to yet another episode of KILIMO Diaries here on TV 47, where we get to take you inside real farms and hear stories of farmers' resilience. Now in this episode, we focus on greenhouse farming. Yes, we explore controlled farming environments and how you could produce more with little resources. Hi Philip.
Hi Sheila.
What are you doing?
I'm supporting this plant. Ndio isiangushwe na matunda.
Oh, isiangushwe na
matunda. Hasara hapo hiyo.
All right. So introduce yourself to our viewers. We ni nani? Which farm is this that we are on?
Hi viewers, my name is Philip Theuri and we are here at Green Acre Farms, Togoto, Kikuyu, Kiambu County.
All right. Now, tumesha karibia, we're already inside the greenhouse, but what would you say has been the experience like? Najua sasa you've grown to love it, but in terms of looking back at the challenges and now where you are at, how much have you learned over the years?
Actually, if there is one thing that will develop your character pretty well,
Hapa ndo penye character inaundwa.
Bas. Because one thing with farming, lazima ukwe very patient. Results are not seen as quick as you'd want them to be. So, and it's also fulfilling for you to see at least the fruits of your hard labor.
Hard labor, not even
hard
just
labor. Well, very hard labor.
Nikikuja hivi, I think I saw aka fruit. Imelemea plant. Si tuende tufanye ile kitu.
Sasa ina shida.
Right, so it might look like plastic, wood, and even ropes, but imagine here is where the magic happens. Of course, with me is Philip Theuri of Green Acres Farm here in Togoto. Once again, asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha. We are happy to be here. So let's just expound on greenhouse farming. I see on this farm, it is basically bell peppers. But why then did you decide on this crop? And are there crops that cannot be put in a greenhouse?
The reason we came to the decision of putting bell peppers is because from past experience. So my parents were farmers previously, and I just wanted to utilize the experience and the knowledge they had in bell peppers instead of doing a whole different crop that no one has no experience in.
All right. So prior they had done bell peppers on an open field.
No, they did bell peppers on inside a greenhouse also.
All right. And in terms of now this crop, what is the market? Is it for local consumption or do you export or it's just for subsistence? Lakini hakuna venye itakuwa subsistence. Yeah.
Tuna kidogo. So bell peppers are exported and they are consumed locally. So the local consumption of bell peppers in our country is still huge. So we sell our produce locally. But the people we do sell to, they also do export. But majorly the consumption of bell peppers locally is enough to
satisfy the market. Okay. And in terms of where you get your seedlings from, where do you get them from? And then are these improved varieties? These are traditional varieties of the bell pepper?
They are hybrid varieties. And we usually get them from Grace Rock Farms right here in Limuru. So for this greenhouse, we only did 2 varieties. But for the fourth and the second greenhouse, we did a couple of varieties because it was our first time. It was also a learning experience for us. So we did a couple of varieties and then we chose the best varieties that did well and planted them here.
And you've planted them here. So it's something that, you learn as you go. All right. Now, first, around us, there's a lot of ropes. And someone would be wondering first, is it nini, So what are these ropes and what are their functions? And is this the standard in every other greenhouse that probably we would see?
This is the standard. So the ropes are usually for supporting the plant, though there are different ways of supporting the plant, but we definitely use ropes. As you can see, the size of the fruit, it's much more heavier. So I think 2 or 3 fruits make up a kg. And you can see for a single plant, there are maybe like 5 fruits per plant. So if they are not supported, they usually break the plant and the stems. So in order to avoid that and to get the maximum production, we support them with ropes.
Support them with the ropes. All right, that is very interesting. And so I want us now to shift focus to now the planting inside the greenhouse. How long does it take for a crop since, the time you plant until it's ready for harvesting? How long does it take to grow? And what do you do here on Green Acre Farm?
After we buy the seedlings, we usually come and transplant them, care for them till they harvest. From transplant to harvest, depending on the variety, we are talking something about 90 to 120 days. But for this specific variety, it's usually 90 to 100 days.
90 to 100 days.
Transplanting to the first harvest.
To the first harvest. All right. And in terms of now the labor, in a cage, does it mean it's also for those 90 days, it's very labor intensive?
Yeah, it's very labor intensive. You can see these ropes we've supported them with. It actually took us about 4 weeks to do the entire greenhouse. There's also the feeding program of the plants. So we have to spray fertilizers, fungicides, and also do top dressing throughout the 90 days till our first harvest and also going forward.
For that top dressing and, the spraying of the fungicides and all that, what is the importance of doing that? Can't they just grow without that?
It's actually really important. For pesticides, fungicide, once you've encountered a problem, it is best you sort it right away. But for the normal feeding program, irrigation, applying fertilizers and foliars, that must be done at a continuous interval for the proper feeding of the plant. For pesticides and fungicides, if there is a delay, if you encounter a single problem and you won't take any action right away, it might become a huge problem for you. And it will affect the production of the plant.
All right. And in terms of now the average yield that one should expect, say for a greenhouse this size, in the first harvest, don't nisikwe over ambitious, what should I expect in terms of, the yield?
For this variety over here, we've harvested it for a month and we've done over 800 kgs. We are almost heading to a ton.
For a month, 800 kilos. Okay.
So that has given us anything between 200 to 300 kgs per week.
Per week. Oh, that's fantastic. So now I'm wondering, how then does greenhouse farming compare to open field? What is the difference? And are there advantages to greenhouse farming? We
over-ordered the seedlings. So a few of the seedlings we planted outside, and that you will see there's a huge difference between what is inside. Since inside we can control the environment and get the maximum yield we can have.
I love that you're bringing that fact of this is more of a controlled environment. So right now it is very hot. I don't know if you can see, we are literally sweating. So how then do you control these temperatures inside this greenhouse? Is it even good for the plant in the first place?
When you're doing capsicum, colored capsicums, for you to sell the ripe ones, the yellow and the red capsicums, you need a lot of heat for them to ripe. So you'll actually notice if probably you'll have a visit during June of the colder seasons of the year. They do take time to ripe. So for you to have a very good yield of capsicums, you need very, very, very hot temperatures.
And is that standard for other crops as well that grow under the greenhouse?
I can say it is standard for greenhouse to be this hot.
Oh.
But the heat, the temperature inside this greenhouse is more favorable to capsicums. But it doesn't mean other plants will perform much less, or and they'll still perform the same.
The same. Now, for humidity and water, how do you control that?
Inside a greenhouse, you will use much less water than planting outside. So we usually use a program for watering our plants. So probably we do like 2 days in a row, skip 1 day. And probably if you are harvesting, we usually make sure to irrigate them properly a day before. So we're talking about 30 minutes to an hour.
All right. When you're coming up with a greenhouse, what should you do to ensure that there would be proper air ventilation inside the greenhouse?
For humidity, you should maintain humidity levels in a greenhouse very, very low. So since we have no smart way, smart technology of detecting humidity levels, we usually use more traditional means. Plants do respire, so we usually look at if the plants are wet. Like if you see the leaves are much wetter, that means we are over irrigating them. So we reduce our irrigation, or it means the ventilation is not properly done. So when setting up your greenhouse, as you can see, we do not cover the whole entire greenhouse with
yes, and
paper.
that has shocked me.
So the nets are for air circulation.
That's a very interesting factor. And now let's talk about pests. And even before we get on to pests, does the weather outside affect whatever is happening inside? Say it's raining heavily, will whatever is happening inside be affected?
I can say it is never cold inside a greenhouse. Even though it's colder outside, there is still so let's say room temperature inside. So what we usually do when it's cold, as you can see outside, we usually have curtains. So what we do, we close the nets with curtains to retain the heat inside.
Oh, that's during the cold season. But during the hot season, we are okay, we are fine.
We're okay, we're fine.
All right. And are there mistakes that farmers make when they're, coming up with the structure in terms of controlling the environment inside the greenhouse?
Probably I can mention my mistakes.
Yes, what are the mistakes that you've made here?
So one of the mistakes I did, I never on the first greenhouse, we never installed enough nets. So we had a humidity problem. So when humidity is high, you will find that there is droplets,
Yes.
what do we call it, moisture on the leaves. So when it's cold, the moisture usually burn zinachoma matawi. Zikichoma matawi, and from what we learned at school, leaves are the ones that provide food for the plant. Kwa hivyo matawi kichomeka, the yield goes down. So that is a mistake I did. So in order to correct that mistake, we had to remove the paper from certain sections, especially the front and the back, and put up a net. To increase the air circulation inside and reduce the humidity levels.
Ukisema kuchomeka kwa matawi, is it this yellow we are seeing, ama that's different?
That's different. So probably can use an example of this. See, all around the edges, kanakauka.
Kanakauka.
So that is as a result of kuchomeka.
Oh, kuchomeka. All right, very interesting, facts that we are getting here from Philip Theory of Green Acres Farm. Of course, we are now up for our first commercial break. When we will be back, we'll now talk about water, nutrients, and what you should take into consideration when you're coming up with your greenhouse. Do not go too far. Keep it TV 47.
Ndio nashangaa mbona bizi yangu iko na wateja wengi. Siri ni moja. Stock ikiingia, mi hubonga na makastoma wote at the same time.
Same time?
Yes, siri ni InTouch Fast Bulk SMS. Click send, all my 5,000 customers wanapata notification ya new stock.
Reach millions of customers instantly with as low as 5,999. Don't just complete, dominate. Call InTouch Fast today and supercharge your business. InTouch Fast Limited. Our touch, your growth.
At MKU, we believe education goes beyond the classroom.
This is for the dreamer, the go-getter.
It is about engaging with ideas, questioning assumptions, working collaboratively, and finding creative solutions to the challenges of our time.
Intech is in progress. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities. Tired of missing your favorite shows?
I waited my entire life for this.
Now, with Azam TV, you can bring home quality entertainment at a price you'll love.
This is the life scoop. We are home.
Get your Azam TV decoder for only 2,000 shillings or grab the decoder plus satellite dish for just 3,500 shillings. Enjoy crystal clear HD channels, endless fun, and zero stress from the city to the village. Azam TV. Iko na wewe. Call us today on 0709 844 000. Azam TV. Burudani kwa wote.
Welcome back. This is KILIMO Diaries here on TV 47, and on this episode we are focusing on greenhouse farming. With me is Philip Dhauri of Green Acres Farm here in Thogoto, and just before the break we had concluded on crop production and the structure of a greenhouse. But now we want to focus on water, because water is life, but in a greenhouse it's all about precision. So Dhauri, once again asante sana. What is the irrigation system that you use here on the farm?
We usually use the drip irrigation system on all of our greenhouses.
Drip irrigation system, hiyo ni gani?
Drip ni ile ina drip tu kamaji pole pole tu.
Pole pole.
So as you can see kuna tushimo kwa drip lines zetu. So tunawashanga kwa tank, inakuja inajaza pipes zote za drip. Kanatoka kidogo kidogo.
So hizi pipes za black ndio zenye they will drip the water from. Now kwa greenhouse drip irrigation ndio the most used, ama kuna another type of irrigation that can be used? Drip irrigation is actually, I think it's the only one used, and it's a very very efficient way to conserve maji pia. So it uses a little water but then it does the job. It does the job, yes. Okay. And how often do you irrigate? Hapa kwa farm mnafungulia maji after how long? Depending on the plants, since the plants we are in this current greenhouse, they are heavy water feeders. So we usually give them a little bit more time compared to other plants, like let's say cucumber. So in a week, probably 3 days of irrigation. 4 to 3 days of irrigation in a week. Does the quality of the water matter? I can say the water we use is okay. The water, so we are just lucky that you are in Thogoto. For someone when you are in Thogoto, lazima pia uangalie the quality of the water. Lazima upimiwe maji. And now you spoke about, you know, that there are chances that you could have over-irrigated your plants, but then what also are the signs that you're probably under-irrigating the plants? Okay, one method we use in checking if the plants are over or under-irrigated is checking just the soil. So we usually take a long stick and poke the ground. And you poke the ground. And remove the stick. If the stick is muddy,
the water is okay. If it is too muddy, you've over-irrigated. If there is no mud at all, then we have a problem.
There's a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Now, let's talk about pests. Hapa ndani pia mnakwanga na shida ya pest kweli?
Ziko. Ziko. Zinaweza sumbua. So, for us, the problem we are currently facing is the white flies and the spider mites. So, for the white flies and the spider mites, we usually use chemical and traditional means. Like, for example, in this greenhouse, you'll see we've mounted some yellow pepper. And if you check them up closely, you'll see there are certain white flies tumekwamia hapo hivyo. So it's an effective way of getting rid of white flies. For the spider mites, since they are tiny, we usually use chemical means as an effective way of getting rid of them.
Na unajua unaongelelea hapo kwa chemicals, najua unaguza roho za wengi because people have this idea that hapa kwa greenhouse kazi tu ni kuweka chemicals so that you know even the produce is not good for consumption. First able to bustie your meat.
You are much more safer consuming greenhouse products than products in an open field. Because in an open field, you will use way more chemicals than greenhouse. Greenhouse is a controlled environment.
Yes.
So we only spray pesticides once we detect a problem. So tukienda wiki mbili kama tujaona spider mite ama white fly, kuna pesticide tutapiga. There's no need.
Right.
Since also because it's a commercial venture, tukispray dawa mingi tunaona pia the profit margins inapungua.
All right, so I think my mom can now rest easy.
Tutambebea moja ukimpeleka.
Tutambebea moja. Sasa, in terms of now the, health challenges in terms of the produce that you get here on the farm, ni kama zipi?
If you've gotten your seedlings from the right company, the right person, there are certain health problems zinakujanga na seedling, ama ziko kwa DNA structure ya mmea. Other health problems ni zile ziko associated na pests. For example, you'll see a spider might eating up, the white flies eating up the leaves, the fruits, the flowers, the buds. So inapunguza pia production. Other challenges ni kama early, morning, late, light, powdery mildew.
And in terms of now, for a farmer who's, seeking for some of these chemicals to come and spray, probably what should they look into when they're choosing a certain maybe pesticide so that probably we can ensure that there's food safety?
It's better for you to consult on an expert. So for the pesticides I've used are usually recommendations from botanists and the professionals.
So everywhere lazima you seek professional guidance.
Because there are certain pesticides there are certain pesticides for certain plants. There are certain pesticides that may kill a plant before they kill you as a human. So I think it's better, and for me, from my experience, I usually consult first before using a certain chemical.
All right. Are there, the risks in terms of pests for, crops inside the greenhouse? Is it that the chances of having pests are reduced or increased, when using a greenhouse?
They are way much, very, very much reduced.
Okay. So hakuna rats huku, hakuna nini?
Hapana, lazima atafute njia, lakini huku hawako. Huku hawako, hawatupendi.
All right. Now, I want us to talk about the cost of setting up the greenhouse in itself. So, for instance, for this size of a greenhouse, what was the cost, and what are some of the materials that you had to, use? Why didn't you use metal? Why did you use wood?
Wood is a cheaper option. And it's actually relatively, it will serve you for some time. Wood will probably serve you for about 5 to 7 years. I'd say I was at an advantage since my dad used to set up greenhouses for people. So I actually used his knowledge and experience in setting up the greenhouses. So for me, costs were way much lower. So I'd say from the cost that farmers have used in setting up their greenhouses and what I've used in setting, there's a difference of, let's say, 100,000 or so.
Difference of like 100,000. And in terms of now, you know, is greenhouse farming profitable? Yes, I will use that 100,000, but will it give me returns at the end of the day as a farmer?
If you do it by the book, consult on the professionals, make sure you have a proper feeding program for your plants, you have the right variety of a particular plant. Throughout the year, there will be, it is profitable, only that depending on the demand that's there on the market, the profits may vary, but it is profitable. Actually, there are no losses in a greenhouse. Probably what I can say is don't be too ambitious. Pengine umesikia mtu aliweka greenhouse anapataga hii pesa.
Now, you know, you're very young, you're quite young. Probably what inspired you to, you know, venture into greenhouse farming?
My parents were farmers. So after school, after kazi nimekosa. Tulikaa tu chini na wao tukabadilishana tu mawazo. So they recommended I do farming. And since sikuwa na mambo mingi ya wakati nikasema, let me just try and see. And so far so good.
So far so good.
So far so good.
How long did it take you to see returns?
For a single greenhouse, I think if you are consistent enough, probably in 1.5 years utakuwa umerudisha pesa yako.
So it's
probably from 1 to 1.5.
And are there challenges that you faced while you're setting up the greenhouse?
The challenge is a lack of knowledge. I think that is the major challenge. So, and also it being a major challenge, kuna ile unatafuta tu ujuzi sana, unakuwa over knowledge. Pia hiyo inaharibu.
Kumbe pia over knowledge is a problem.
So ukienda consult tu na kila mtu ako na njia yake tofauti ya kufanya vitu. So you're just filling up yourself with a lot of information. So that is also a challenge. But I'd say if you're venturing into farming, give yourself the first year as an opportunity to learn.
To learn. So it's okay to make mistakes and learn on the job as well.
To learn.
What has been your proudest moment so far?
I think for this particular greenhouse has been the proudest moments. Because as I mentioned, when we were coming to when we were doing this particular type of plants, it was our first time. So we did a variety of plants. And then chose the best varieties, put them here. And the yield has been so far satisfactory to me.
Now, I want you to advise young farmers who are watching you today and looking up to you right now. And what would you tell them if they want to pursue this kind of agriculture?
Consult first before you start. Do your research. And yeah.
All right. Asante sana for having us. We appreciate having you here with us on KILIMO Diaries. And of course, thanks to you for always watching KILIMO Diaries here on TV47. And for the crew that always make this a possibility every other Sunday, it is always a pleasure. And of course, thank you to our partner, the Kenya National Farmers Federation. Let's do this next week as we now focus on bell pepper farming, otherwise known as capsicums. I am Sheila Chelangat, and this is KILIMO Diaries, a show for the farmer, by the farmer, with the farmers.